Not gonna cap, the future is looking really scary. When I see that the entire military is facing a recruiting crisis, and not just the United States of America, other militaries around the world are also facing a crisis. It is like kind of scary just to think about it. Like in maybe a decade, like how strong is our military gonna be? Like seriously, like
我们可能很快就能真正说中文了。
So in this video, I'm going to talk about why Gen Z isn't joining the military. Since I've been in the Army for 4 years now, and I'm also a Gen Z, I feel as though I kind of have an idea why Gen Z doesn't want to join. And I want this to be an open discussion, and I want you guys to comment down what you think too, but after talking to some of you guys in my Discords and reading your comments, I've came up with 6 reasons why people aren't joining the military today. From the process to even enter the military, pay/benefits not being enough, terrible treatment or the quality of life to the current service members that are already in, wokeness, the overall tight labor market, and the general consensus of the military. I'm gonna go in detail to why these things are affecting recruitment. So the process to enter the military, you have to take the ASVAB, you have to pass the physical requirement, and then you have to go to MEPS. After talking to you guys, I've been seeing that the time that it takes to actually enlist and actually join the military is pretty long, and something called Genesis is kind of that culprit, because some people, they might have medical issues that have been resolved, but Genesis, which is a new system that they wrote out that's supposed to, make things easier, it's kind of making it harder. I'm not going to go in full detail talking about Genesis, but Team Swartz has made great videos talking about it. But when the process to join the military is taking longer than you could just start working at Amazon or UPS, people are just going to do other things because they're not just going to sit and wait for the military to accept them. No matter how bad that they want to join, they're going to see that the military just doesn't want them. They don't like to wait, and so they're just going to move on. Also doesn't help that it's reported that 77% of the United States population aren't even fit to serve. So that's an already small pool to pull from. See what I did there? Yo! And albeit the military is moving in the right direction, specifically the Army, and coming up with future soldier prep courses that, help future recruits who just aren't there yet, that meet the requirements, but who just need that little extra push to, ultimately join. I feel like that's moving in the right direction. But ultimately, if it takes too long of a process to join the military, people are just going to move on and do other things. Especially with the fact that the military's pay and benefits aren't as competitive or great as it was years and years ago. You're not going to get rich by joining the military. So people more often years ago would just join for college using that GI Bill. But now many companies and corporations have implemented programs such as the military's model, where they will pay for your college if you work X amount of years with them. And so to an 18-year-old, 17-year-old who can't really pay for college right now, do I really want to risk my life, and die possibly in war? Because that's what most people think of when they join the military, although it's not necessarily too. I'm a dental specialist. Or should I just work at Amazon for X amount of years, get my college degree, and move on with my life? People are naturally going to take the path of least resistance, and the private sector provides that path of least resistance with also a low barrier to entry. Why not grinding out there for my first golden years and then boom, move on with my life? So the military isn't the only stepping stone available to America's youth nowadays. The military has a lot of competition now. Although I will say that the benefits in the military are still good, if not better than what's out there in the private sector. Only is health insurance and dental very important. It's expensive, especially to a 17, 18-year-old. Retirement, most people don't think about that. Pension, if you do decide to do 20 years, is still pretty hard to beat. Seriously though, on a personal level, between all the benefits of housing, food allowance, and just on top of the base pay with all the other allowances that I haven't even named, the military pays pretty good for a 17, 18-year-old who just got out of high school. And I will say this for all my young military members or potential military members: in the military, it's just you have to pay your dues first before you start getting the good stuff. Military is rewarding, but you just got to stick around for it. Money and benefits are a big thing, especially if you don't come from much. And you don't want to be paid less for doing more when you could be doing less and get paid more. And so this is why I want to ask you guys 2 questions. Do you have a phone And do you like saving money? For today's video, I partnered with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 a month, and you don't have to sacrifice coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G networks, and they keep prices low by selling directly to you. That means they cut out the retail stores and the retail sales people. Why should you pay more when you don't have to for the same coverage? Mint Mobile allows you to save more money so you can spend it on more things like my possible merch that's coming out real soon. Stay tuned. Mint Mobile plans include nationwide talk, text, and 5G data with mobile hotspot. Mint also offers a family plan that allows you to set up a super affordable plan with just as few as 2 lines. I use Mint Mobile myself, and the speed and the service was just the same as my usual carrier. As an extra special offer for my channel, through July 14th, Mint is having a 50% off sale for their unlimited plan. So instead of $30, it's going to be $15 a month. Use my link in the description below. It really helps the channel. One way I think the military can help with the recruiting crisis and have a big impact is to just treat the members that are already in with respect, dignity, quality of life, increase it, and just treat your lowest level better than you have before. Because say a soldier does go through all of the following, right? The military's been throwing money at a lot of new recruits, but not the people that are already in to join. And so when those new recruits join and they get the same treatment that the already existing members that have been, in for a long time but haven't been really getting those incentives to stay in, they're gonna see why those members are getting out. And so I feel like a very, very big obstacle that the military has when it comes to recruiting is that the soldiers that are already in are getting out. The ones that have had a bad experience are telling people not to join, right? We live in a very digital age. TikTok, it's all over TikTok. Military members stating why they get out, why the military is such a bad place. Documentaries.
Now that I have a kid, is he going to end up going to some war that ends up not doing any good for the world and receive a bunch of shitty care?
Word of mouth is a very powerful way of advertising, and if it's against you, it's gonna do numbers in a bad way to whatever you're trying to do. So no matter how much money you throw out, if you got people, they're not gonna listen to recruiters whose job is to solely recruit. They're gonna listen to what TikTok has to say. So I feel like if the military emphasizes increasing the quality of life for its current members, and albeit, the Army can only do so much on paper. It comes down to the leaders, yada, 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 and the individual persons. But until a mass change happens and the general consensus of the military members that are already in is negative about the military when they get out, they're just going to say, don't join, bro. It's a waste of your time. And so all the expensive ad campaigns that the military is putting out are kind of worthless until that sentiment changes, I feel like. Seriously, we got Modi barracks, the food, freaking the terrible treatment of soldiers. People are going to talk about the bad stuff always before they talk about the good stuff. People are more reluctant to talk about the good stuff because that's just how they think it's supposed to be and how their life is. But people talk about the bad stuff because, yeah, this is crap. Don't do it. So I feel like that's a very big reason why Gen Z isn't joining. I do feel like the military is moving in the right direction though, because obviously they have to, or there is going to be no military unless something changes. Like I said before, I want you guys to tell me what you guys think will fix the crisis. Wokeness. I feel like the military, like I said, this is my opinion, but the military has kind of lost its identity. Not entirely, but it's kind of, starting to lose its identity with these varying ad campaigns that kind of distort the image of the military and what people are going to expect. Because I feel like the demographic that the military is kind of catering to is not the demographic of the people who are interested in the actual military. And that's hurting the people who are actually want to join versus the people who aren't even considering joining. Gen Z is a very smart generation. We can see through what you're trying to do. You're not sneaky, you're not giving, I feel like wokeness and the military don't really coincide with each other, although there should be reforms for the issues that there, is in the military, but an entire cultural shift. I think we should still maintain some of the disciplinary and strictness of the military, especially with a all-in-all tight labor market. For the past couple years now, every job in America, or every company, corporation, business in America has been hurting for people. I'm sure you guys see help wanted signs dang near everywhere when you guys drive to Walmart. And so the military is going to see that also. It's not going to create more recruits for you. It's going to make it harder, obviously. Especially if the general consensus of the American population of the military isn't even above 50%. With all the other reasons that I just listed, it's just not a good market. It's not a buyer's market for the military right now. We're struggling, like, seriously, like, and it just sucks because I feel like all of these things are happening at the worst possible time with everything that's going on in the world. It's just like crazy to think about. I mean, highly influential people are talking down about the military.
Don't join. Whatever you do, don't join the army.
Overall, the things that are just going on in the military that are negative just being reported to civilians, making them think like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of that. It just doesn't create a good situation for either. And so my resolution to it all, honestly, I really can't give you an answer. I don't think throwing money at the problem is going to solve it. I think it's going to have to take something bigger that's going to have a lasting impact that's going to last from generations to come. Say though, joining the military has been the best decision of my life. It's given me a lot of things. I was just a young, dumb high schooler not knowing what to do in life, and the military has helped me find my path. Your boy was like, college is a scam because, you know, wasn't the best student, didn't want to end up in college debt, but now your boy's pursuing his bachelor's degree in cybersecurity, paid for by the military. So the military is like, seriously, bro, like, if you go in the military, you choose a good job, you choose something that you like or that's not that bad that you could see yourself doing, the military isn't a bad option. I recommend the military to anyone who can join the military. And if you guys are considering joining the military, definitely join my Discord server below, because you guys can talk to active duty service members, veterans, or just other recruits also joining the military or thinking about the military to get your questions answered and get some insight. It has been your boy, Aaron BTV. Watch my other videos, like the video, and peace out.